Hello and welcome to this week's show. My name is Mark Legere. I am broadcasting live from downtown Salem, Massachusetts. I am the founder of Which City Ghosts, and you can find us at whichcityghosts.com. I am the host of Everything Paranormal with Mark and Jeff. Broadcast every Saturday night from 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, PM, of course, on dtmwickedradio.com. My brother Jeff and I, and that's kind of what we do. What I would like to do is welcome you to the show. This is the first episode of many, and what I would like to do tonight is kind of explain some of the equipment, some of the things we look for in investigations, and just how to maybe be a better paranormal investigator in different ways that you might have never even considered. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about the different types of ghosts we have, or different hauntings. The first haunting or spirit that we try to encounter, or that we try to communicate, would be the intelligent spirit, the intelligent haunting. The intelligent spirit, as an investigator, is one of our most favorites because we get to, in real time, try to communicate with spirit and try to, I'm going to just readjust that just like that. Okay, the lights, look at that. I don't want to blind you with my head. Back to intelligent spirits. These are spirits which will communicate with us in real time. And that makes it more exciting and more thrilling for us investigators, because we actually, get to try to communicate with spirit and see what we can find out. Now, generally, when we get called from a client to do an investigation, whether it's a home or if it's a business or anybody's property, things like that, what they do is they call us generally when they're either scared or they need answers. They would like to know who the spirits might be that are being active, or are they safe? Could they coexist, and things like that. So generally, number one, when a client contacts us, we have a 20-question survey with them, or a 20-question, one-on-one thing. We ask things like, I hate to say, but are you on prescription drugs? Okay, well, hey, maybe good stuff, but seriously, no. That's just part of the questions. Also, what are you experiencing? Has anybody else experienced this? Is it at a certain time? Could you describe things if they see apparitions, shadows, things like that? So we really gather these 20 questions together, either sit with the client or call them and just communicate with them a little bit and get a feel for what's going on. Unfortunately, sometimes with all of these ghost hunting shows and radio shows and things like that, people, everything's a ghost. Everything's a ghost. Oh my God. So you have to kind of weed these people out, because we're very busy. And we do have real jobs because we need benefits, things like that. But I can say that my team, Which City Ghosts, has had a very, very high success rate in helping our clients better understand what's going on. The way we do that is we try to capture evidence. We try to we document things. We try to communicate when possible. Get answers. We find out. Or we try to find out, does the spirit want to move on? Can they coexist? Why are you here? Things like that. Okay. So again, my website is whichcityghosts.com. Check it out, or friend me on Facebook, Mark Legere. And what you would do is you will find a lot of this. You'll find a lot of the evidence that I'm going to explain to you how we captured in a couple of moments. You'll find audio, you'll find video, you'll find thermal imaging camera pictures, things like that, when the client allows us to share it with the public. There are times when, everything is discreet and we can't give you many details. So I'll go into maybe a couple of stories later on I'll describe some things that I've experienced, but again, we cannot give details as to where, when, why, and who. Okay? Fair enough. Also, on upcoming episodes this month, since I'm kicking this off in October, it's the perfect time to come out on the ghost hunting tours. What I'm going to do is have a cameraman along my tours the next couple of weeks, and I will take you throughout like you are on the tour in downtown Salem, Massachusetts, where I am a licensed tour guide and a professional paranormal investigator, plus a techie freak and a DJ and all that good stuff. And we're going to take you on the tour, and we'll take you through some of the best sites. If you would like to experience a tour with your group of 6 or more, please by all means get in touch with me and let's set something up. Right now weekends are getting pretty full, but I still have weeknights which are just as well. It's probably an hour and a half, a 2-hour max. If you get the VIP treatment, it costs you probably $5 more per person. You take the VIP tour, we will actually start at Gallows Hill Park here in Salem, the real Gallows Hill Park in Salem, and then we will finish the tour downtown Salem, some of the most historically haunted locations I know of. I've been doing this about 8 years now, tours about 6 years, and it seems the more we do this, the more spirit is willing to communicate. Again, check out some of the photos on my website, witchcityghost.com, or even on my Facebook page at Mark Legere, Legere, lots of E's. Like Brother Jeff says, lots of E's. Okay? All right, let's start with some of our equipment here because, well, equipment is the real backbone of what we do. A client contacts us a couple of weeks, it may take me a couple of days to get back, and then we usually book the investigation within a couple of weeks, depending on the severity of it. If the client's really freaked out, like this past one we had last week, people are a little nervous, there may be children involved, or things like that, we like to kick this off really quick. So for her, what I did was text and called her on the phone, and we discussed, some of the 20 questions. What are you experiencing, this and that? Can you validate? Has anybody else seen it? And so we go in and try to prove or disprove things for her. We go in very open-minded. Some of us are skeptical. I'm skeptical. I take more of a scientific approach or a techie approach where I need to see it to believe it. I really need to see it to believe it to get a better idea on what's going on. So once we decide to go in here, what we do is I'll usually show up earlier than my crew. My crew can consist of, I have an audio specialist, I have a spiritual guide, I have numerous investigators, we have dealt with demonologists, or clergy, depending on your religion, or shamans, it goes on and on and on and on. Voodoo specialists, witches, it depends on the case. Each individual case is different. And that's what we try to figure out before we go in. What are we going to accomplish here? What is our goal? Is this client so freaked out that he or she wants spirit moved on? I can understand if that's negative, but sometimes I would recommend if we come to find out, if we see it's a family member or a loved one or even a spiritual guide that's trying to look out for this individual or this individual's family, we suggest that we don't move it on. We don't at all. We try to coexist. I may ask spirit to reconsider the way they are trying to communicate with their loved one on earth, and try not to scare them so much. Okay, and they don't know. I mean, spirits, first of all, they come in, they're new to this, a lot of them, and it takes them a long time to figure out how to, either communicate or manipulate something or even work with electricity, lights, give signs, things like that. And the more evil guy, the more evil spirit, it might even take them time. It could take them centuries. To spirit, time is no issue. It's no object. Okay, there is no time. There's no body, there's no time. I believe truly that spirit exists in just a different dimension. How many dimensions there are, we're not sure yet. 5, 6, 7, 10, we don't know. But we know there are several dimensions. And actually, in some of our past Everything Paranormal with Mark and Jeff episodes, we've had scientists and some spiritual people who have said, consider this. Okay, consider that, you're getting an EVP, which I'll explain in a minute. You get a voice recording saying, get out. No, that get out. Is that get out? Actually, could it be you in just a different dimension? A couple dimensions away? That's communicating with you in another dimension saying, oh my God, it's a ghost. Get out. Just like you see it now. It could be. It could be. We don't know. We don't know. There are so many different dimensions. And there are so many more things that we are trying to figure out now. And slowly figuring out. Using that capacity of our brain that we never tap into. There's a brain up here. It's mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. So, let me explain to you some of the equipment that myself and my team use on every investigation. And even on the tours. Again, on the tours you come out, you're going to play with all of this stuff. You'll get to use everything. We get to document, we review things right away, and we try to go over it. Okay, and I'll play it back like in real time, so you can, oh cool, wow, this is really, I have made more skeptics believers when they come out and do these tours, and actually when we have like an open space on an investigation where we're trying to break somebody in, and they're kind of skeptical. Some of the stuff we find sometimes will just blow your mind, and it will make you a believer. Again, you can see that stuff on my website. A lot of good stuff I can show you. Okay, first of all, let's start out with just your basic digital audio recorder. This is cool. It has an external microphone. Just plugs right into the mic, like that. And this is a great tool for communicating with spirit in the beginning. And or you can leave this in a room by yourself. In a room, say in the attic. A client says, oh, we hear noises, we hear voices all the time, we hear conversations. Well, this is a great tool to leave up there. If you have a bunch, 3, 4, 5 of these things throughout your team, just leave them throughout the place and record audio. I recommend that you put it on like the conference setting if you have it, and don't ever put it on voice activated, because by the time you get any spirit voice or any noise, like it'd be like, hello, it's too late. Because spirit does not have any vocal cords. So they will communicate with these recorders. Most of the time, 99.999% of the time, it will be a whisper. It will just be a disembodied whisper. You cannot hear with your ears. That makes it an electronic voice phenomenon. I'm sorry. Listen to my son. It's phenomena. No, it's not. It is electric voice phenomena. EVP. Now, what do you think it is if you hear a voice with your own ear? You have a recorder over here. You communicate in the pitch black. Yeah, folks, we do that. And you hear a whisper in your ear. Get out. Or hello. Or whatever. That's right, voice phenomena. That's a voice phenomena. Okay? Very important. Now, when we use this tool, we like to set it like a few feet apart from us. Let me bring you through an EVP session. Okay? An EVP session is, first of all, you would set this recorder over here on the side. Okay, you have a group of 4 or 5 people, however many you have in your group, doing the investigation. First of all, it always helps to explain what you're doing. Hi, my name is Mark. I am here to communicate with you on behalf of Joe Schmo. We mean you no disrespect or harm in any way. We are not here to trap you. We would just like to hear your story. Now please, as you see, I come near this box with this light. and it does not harm me. It will not harm you. I will step away so you can communicate. Okay, so then you say things like, would you like to try it? Things like that. Okay, then we go into our question session. Now please, folks, please take it, I've heard so many bad questions on these EVPs. You don't want to insult spirit. Please, spirit, your spirit, spirit, deceased spirit, treat them with some respect and dignity. Don't know, do you know you're dead? Or why did you die? Or can you give me a sign? Really, folks, if you said, can you give me a sign, and I heard that as a spirit, I'd probably kick you in the butt. So here's that sign. How's that? Be respectful, please. So the way we would conduct an EVP session in the professional manner is we'd sit in a circle, kind of meditate for a second. It's very important too, folks. You need to protect yourself somewhat. I don't care if you have a cross or if you have a stone that you feel is lucky or something you feel a close attachment to. You need to take almost a meditative state before you try to communicate with spirit. In other words, just ground yourself, become one with the ground, one with the earth. And this is very simple. A very simple technique my team and I will use. As you stand, take it on and relax. Remove all negative feelings. You should have no negative feelings in you whatsoever. If you want to communicate with spirit, you cannot be negative. Because guess what you'll attract? Negative spirits. You don't want that. So we start out by some positive light, okay? Just relax. Okay, we relax. We're sitting in the pitch black now. I take a deep breath. We all take a deep breath as a team together. Everybody, deep breath in. Close your eyes. Hold it. Breathing in white, bright light as you breathe in next time, okay? Breathe out. All negative energy will go out through your feet, which are planted on the ground, into the ground. All negative energy is going out of your body. So again, now we are going to breathe in some bright white light coming in right in through your head, right in through the skull. In. Hold it. All positive, happy thoughts. I'm so happy. You don't want me to dance or sing. That's why I'm a DJ and a paranormal guy. Breathe out. Out. Oh, I feel better already. One more time, I might pass out. Ready? Breathe in. All the positive white light. White, vibrant light. Full of positive energy. Makes you feel great. Better than 5-hour energy. In. And out. You are now grounded. You ask to communicate with only spirit that are friendly and willing to communicate. We do not want to communicate with anything negative. Definitely not anything demonic in any way. In the name of God. Thank you. Breathe out. So now we go back to our EVP session. Okay, let's say I'm the first person. I am going to start the EVP session. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Mark. And then you go around. My name is Bob. My name is Joe. My name is Sandy. My name is Alexis. My name is Jeff. My name is Mike. And Amy. And you ask, what is your name? Keep in mind, a lot of the time, Spirit has no idea what their name was or is. They don't have a name anymore. They're a spirit. They're in spirit form. They're not a body. They're not like us. They are, they're like us, but in another form. where they might not even know their name. Okay, so sometimes you do get names, which is really cool. I did a. It was funny. I did a. My brother and I experimented once. I went to the Danvers State Hospital. It's a mental institution up in Danvers, Massachusetts. Notoriously haunted. Section 9, was that the movie? Session 9. Session 9 was actually filmed there. And this place was crazy. Anyway, I was in the cemetery. Now, I'm not a big one for cemeteries for paranormal activity. I'm a true believer in when you pass away, you leave your body, your physical body, your spirit goes on, your energy goes on. But sometimes you may visit to see who's visiting you, who leaves you flowers on Valentine's Day, stuff like that. Okay. Some of the places on my tour in Salem, I take you, they're a little more active. I think because there's some unrested souls there. And actually, we've moved a couple on in the past few years, so it's funny. The EVPs and the activity is getting a little less, but there's still absolutely some activity in these cemeteries. So some, yes, but most not. Okay, so then we communicate and you ask questions. One of my favorites is just to see, first of all, if they are intelligent, which is the first type of ghost we're trying to communicate. If they're an intelligent spirit, that's great. They're going to communicate back with you. So, blah, blah, blah. What? I'm sorry, I'm lost. What town am I in? Sometimes they'll say Salem, or they've done it before. Boxford, I think they said Chelsea, said Boston, Chatham. Trying to think of some of the others. Gardner. There was a few that they said it. Okay, so that's a great way to communicate. And of course, you go on. You ask things like, "Do you need help?" And that's really why we're there, folks. We're there to help. Here to help the living understand themselves. We are there to help spirit move on if they request the help. We don't go in like Ghostbusters, gangbusters. Hey, I'm going to get rid of everybody, suck them up in a vacuum, kick them out. It's not the way it goes. We try to work with people. We try to work with spirit. Same thing. Okay? So, where was I going with this anyways? Before I get into that, okay, we were talking about the types of spirits because we just covered the intelligent, okay? The second type of spirit is residual. It's a residual haunting. It's almost like a stamp on time. It's almost like a movie reel playing over and over and over and over and over again. For one example, I can give you one of my investigations here in Salem. One of the claims was that the two residents were hearing stumbling down the steps. Boom, 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 bang! And they heard it a lot. And it was frequent. It wasn't just once in a while. It wasn't once a year. It was frequently once or twice a week. Where they both run out and they see what's going on and nobody was there. So that is a residual haunt, folks. That's just a stamp on time. That could be many things. I have actually seen it when it is the residual haunting it happens on the anniversary of the terrible event that led to that person's death. They're stumbling down the steps. Maybe it happens once a year on October 20th. Boom, 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 bang. And you hear it. And then if you're smart enough to figure that out, and you've been following that case for enough time, you could try to prove it. And either videotape it. At least you'll get an audio recording. Even cooler if you can get like something video or something like that. And because even if you don't get the video, if you still get the audio on the video, that's substantial. And the more evidence we can get together at once with any of this equipment, the better we are. Okay? Then the third type of haunting is a poltergeist. Poltergeists generally don't last very long. Again, they definitely cling to more negative peoples or negative atmosphere. Typically, I see it a lot in teenagers or maybe heavily medicated people, either medicated by a doctor or illegally medicated or self-medicated. You can see sometimes you see a lot of that poltergeist activity, which is basically like doors locking or lights shutting off and on, or I've seen and heard water faucets turning off and on, things like that. Footsteps, banging, tapping, things like that. That would be your poltergeist activity, which again, thankfully, they don't last very long. They kind of bust them for a little while, wreak a little havoc, like, here I am, and then they leave. Eventually, they'll go. And again, folks, please keep in mind, you are the person with the physical body, the mind, and the soul. You can push anything away. You can push anything away with a positive thought, with prayer. Sometimes it takes a group of people. Just push it away. Just like a person. If a spirit is freaking you out and scaring you and making you or your family uncomfortable, tell them, go away. I don't want you here anymore. Leave me alone. And folks, that works most of the time. Just like a person. All right, fine, hell with them. I'm out of here. They leave. They won't. Nobody wants to stay around when they're not wanted. Spirits aren't much different. Unless, of course, if you get to the next haunting, which is demonic, the D word. Unfortunately now, demonic still is the freakiest, most scariest thing you ever want to see. I've only been involved in 2 demonic cases. One in Salem, Massachusetts. One was down Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And to this day, I get a little freaked out when I think about it. It's scary stuff, and it's real, folks. It's real. People can either conjure it up, or one of my cases, the person was heavily medicated, and this client was medicated because at a young age, he was seeing ghosts. Or he was saying that he was seeing spirits, and people, oh my God, he's crazy. He's crazy. Of course, more people are more open to this now, and maybe they're thinking, well, maybe this is true. But this poor guy was heavily medicated to such a medicated state that he would, I believe, I'm not positive, but I'm believing that he conjured up this demonic entity. I had the pleasure of dealing with this demonic entity. Me and a small team of 3 people. And that was a freaky thing. One of the team members, the big bodyguard, ran out over me to get out of the way when it happened. And I'm talking to my a friend of mine, a parapsychologist, and she's in the room, and I'm trying to pull her out of that room as things are pulling her back in. It was freaky. You couldn't see this, but you could hear it. Lights were dimming. Temperature dropped about 15 degrees within a matter of seconds, and the person was becoming obsessed. Almost, it was an obsession. It was almost a possession where this guy, nice guy, all of a sudden starts talking like this. And it was just freaky. It was almost something you see out of movies. My God, it still freaks me out today. Look, my nipples are standing out. That's one of your tools right there. Woo! That stuff freaks you out. Okay? So briefly, we're going over this equipment again. There's your digital audio recorder. Okay? My next best friend would be an EMF meter or a K2. This brand name is called, it's a K2 meter. This measures electromagnetic fields. It is believed that spirit is made up of energy, and that energy could be measured in a unit, an English, German unit of electrical measurement, which is mellingauss. This measures milligauss. This will measure that. You can see down here near this next camera that it will light it up. I'll show you in a second. I'm going to get a couple of things running here so I can show you how these things will actually light up. Okay. So this is your K2 meter. You see it on the ghost hunting shows, and it's good. A lot of times what I do when we have this out in the room, we'll spread it out in several rooms. We have like 10 of these on an investigation. And what we do is spread them throughout the house, the apartment, sometimes on camera, sometimes with invisibility, so you can see. I mean, you can pretty much, you can stand it up anywhere, and on a ledge, on a shelf. And what you're hoping is when, at the time you get either a picture or a thermal shot or a voice recording, you can see a spike on this meter. 1.5 milligauss is normal. When it starts going to the second green light, like it's fluctuating now, second and third light, more like fluctuating than steady. That's more, it's not paranormal, so to speak, but that makes you think, things that make you go, Remember that song from the 90s? Okay, it makes sense. Things that make you go, Okay, so this is a good tool too. It's a good visual tool, which it doesn't make any noise, but it kind of helps you get a feel for what's going on. I have a souped up version of that right here. This is called the Mel meter. Why it's a lot like a K2 is it lights up like that, like a Christmas tree. It has the lights up top, which are kind of cool. And it also measures digitally, numerically. You can see the numbers, 0.4, 0.5 milligauss, and it goes with the light. So this is great off in the distance too, where you will also get your digital and your milligauss. It looks like a Christmas tree, which is perfect to see. This is one I would put in a far room when we're sitting in the pitch black, lights out, no AC on, no heat. We go totally silent, totally dark, and these things will really light up a room. Okay. The other version of that I have right here is also the Mel meter, but there's a couple things. First of all, see it has like the backlight, which you can see there, lights up. You can read in milligauss. It also has a temperature probe. Temperature probe is great. 71.5 right now, and it's beautiful. Okay, and these also have memories. Where you can record what you're getting. You can record your peaks and your valleys. It's great. So at the same time, let's say I get a voice on the digital audio recorder, and the temperature drops 8 degrees, and the milligauss jumps up. 0.5. 1.0, 5.6, something like that. It's like cool. There I get 3 pieces of technical evidence that I can put together, to present to the client. Well, when Spirit spoke, at this point, this is what happened. We get a peak and we get a drop in temperature. Temperature is important because you can, most of the time, I'd say 8 times out of 10 now, sometimes they're warmer, but most of the time, Spirit, if you feel the cold spot or something, Spirit is a colder spot. I know during several investigations that we've done, somebody's like, oh my God, it feels cold over here. And you can feel it. Okay? You can measure with that. Okay? You can measure with the Mel meter. You can also measure it with this digital thermometer. This digital thermometer is really cool. It's just what it says, You got your laser beam so you can shoot, you can aim, and you can get a direct spot. Oh, Mark, feel right over here. It's colder. Well, look at that. It's 71.2. Oh, it's dropping. 71.2. It's going to 70. It's going to 69.8, 68. I have seen that before. In fact, in the time where we got good audio and or a thermal picture, you see the temperature drop like 10, 15 degrees. That is substantial, folks. There is no reason for that. Keep in mind, when we go into an investigation, no matter where it is, hotel, restaurant, private home, whatever, we shut off all power and we shut off all HVAC systems. There is no heat. There is no air coming out. What you try to do, though, is immediately you try to disprove things. Is there a draft in the window? Is that AC vent on? Things like that. If you can prove it's not, that is substantial in proving that you have something that you are dealing with. Again, most of the time you don't see ghosts. Okay, you just don't see them. Right, those are those pieces of equipment there. What I'd like to show you too is also what we have here is this is a great tool. This is totally for night vision. This is an infrared camera. Okay, the infrared camera will help you see at night. I can give you kind of a better shot here, what you're looking at, and then you go total lights out, we'll go lights out like that. You can see. Okay. There's your infrared light off. Now it's on. It brightens right up. This is perfect for walking around in the dark. As blind as I am, I can walk around in the dark. I can see this. I can see what's going on. It's infrared, so everything's kind of purplish. We also have full spectrum. We have all kinds of cool cameras, which I'm going to get to right about now. Hold on one more second. One of my favorite, simplest pieces of equipment to use, everybody has one, is just a good old digital camera. The film cameras are great. Using a camera with film is great. Actually, it's best if you do find what you think is paranormal, because you will have that image on the film. So you cannot, if you try to reproduce it or Photoshop or something like that, you'll have the original right on the film. The thing with this digital camera is they're great, they're quick, and they're easy to use. You can either go night vision, or what I suggest is a flash. Because flashes are great. You can really, most of the time, you won't, let me explain too, that you won't get a spirit like, here I am, take my picture. Although I have seen people ask, do you mind if I take your photo? In 3, 2, 1, and they take the picture. And sometimes they get some really cool stuff. Let's see, I'm just seeing if I get anything right there. Actually, I did. I got kind of a little shadow up in the corner, which is very cool. It's very interesting. It's good to use the flash too, when you can. The thing with the flash is if you're investigating with your team at night, I know I made the mistake with some more reputable teams in the beginning, where I'd go in and I'd start taking all kinds of pictures, because you get your first picture, and it's very cool. You get maybe something peeking around a door frame, or you get a thermal picture, or even you get voices. It's like you're in, like fishing. You're caught, you're in. You are hooked. Okay, so do yourself, myself, and your fellow investigators a favor when you take a picture in the pitch black. If you're looking around your viewfinder, you see something that might be interesting, you will say, flash, then you take it. Because if you don't say, flash, and somebody's looking right at you, they're not going to see you again for another 15 to 20 minutes. Like, oh my God, you just can't see anything. Blinded. Okay, so please do the flash. It took me a while to learn. At first I was more like this. I'm like, flash. But then I caught on, okay? But these cameras are a great, great tool. Take 1,000 pictures. What I suggest is when you first go into an investigation, you go in with your millimeter or a K2, a temperature probe. But if you have a millimeter, you have the temperature on it. You have the temperature gauge on it. You go in with temperature. You go in with EMF reading tool and a camera. If you want to get really crazy, go with a video camera. But what you do is you take initial readings of the whole place. You'll go into the cellar or in the basement, you'll find the main power panel. I guarantee you're going to find some high electromagnetic energy in that panel. Take note of it. Go near the microwave, go in the kitchen, see where the power is. Here's a more advanced technique, but your client claims that they have bad dreams every night. They dream of ghosts. They feel like every time they're in bed, something gravitates to them. Something is attacking them. Check the electromagnetic field near their pillow, near their head. More times than not, I found like high EMF readings near their head, which means two things. Number one, it can definitely, absolutely cause hallucinations. Or number two, it could fuel paranormal activity. Entities, the form of energy, spirit, fuels off of that high electromagnetic energy. I have a tool that I bring on my investigations that will actually crank up the electromagnetic energy. It's an electromagnetic pump. I have this version, and I've got a big boy. Here's the big boy here. This big boy runs, AC 110, 115 volts. It pumps out like 200 milligauss, where this does more like 85, 90 milligauss. But you can see it on the meter here. If I bring this meter close to it, the thing lights up like a Christmas tree. You see it light up. It goes off. See it? Come closer to it. A little more off. I suggest you don't go really close to your equipment, any equipment with this, because it will in turn fry your equipment after a while. It's just not a good thing. So be careful with that, with what you have. The next tool I want to show is a really cool thing. If I can kill my studio lights. Producer! Thank you, sir. Not only is this a cool tool to play with, this is also fantastic for when you have claims of a shadow. I see shadows up in the hallway in my daughter's room every night. You put this on a step or on a railing, whatever. You want it so it lights up. This will light up a whole warehouse, folks. This thing is crazy. I love it. When I do a tour, it lights up like half the street. Oh, check this out. Okay, so you can light up your whole room, let's say, or we're back up in the hallway. Any shadow, anything at all, the passes in front of that, you will see it. You will see, this will break the beam of light, and there's no doubt that you see it. In case you're not sitting there watching it, you could put this on any shelf or something, just it comes with an elastic band, so you can put it on like by itself like that, and you just set up on a tripod a regular handy cam. That's all, not a night vision camera, just a regular day vision, a regular half decent handy cam on a tripod. Slow speed, let it go. More than once we have seen bodies walking across, shoulders, heads, breaking the beam and walking across the light. Okay. Very cool tool to have. Do not ever point this in your fellow investigator's eyes because it will blind you. Okay. That is our laser grid. Very cool, very fun toy. Nothing like it at all. Now the next one is one of my favorites. This next one here, to get into focus, is a FLIR camera. It's a thermal imaging camera. It measures heat signatures. Originally invented to detect leaks in windows and things like that. But on paranormal investigations, I tell you folks, if you want to see some of the best results I have with this, witchcityghosts.com or Mark Legere on Facebook, Legere. Check it out, some of my thermal pictures, okay? This thing is amazing. This will measure in real time. Right now I'm just showing you what you can see on video here. I can show you here. Let me go to the couch, okay? I'm using the couch. In fact, we usually broadcast in a studio setting. Thinking, oh, couch, cool, nice and homey. That looks really cool. All right, I can take my own picture. And then you save things to the camera. You can review it. This is also a video camera, so you go back, you can review footage like that. This is one of the more expensive ones. It's pretty cool. I just have this cord going to my projector so I can show you how it works. Let me show you how it works here on the couch. I'm going to put my hand on the couch like that. This is my hand. I remove it. Look at my heat signature right there. How cool is that? You can take a picture of it. Okay, that froze it right there. Now I can play back the picture. And what's cool in the picture, if you look, you can see the temperature, okay? Actually, that's a bad temperature setting, so that's not a good example. But the hotter it is right here, white in the fingertip is about 98 degrees. A little lower, it's colder. And you can also, what you can do with this camera, which is very cool, is you can change settings. So I could change my palette.
it's on iron right now, I could go to rainbow, which is one of my favorites. Rainbow, we kind of refocus it right there. I still have that handprint down there. See the handprint now? It's a lot warmer. Folks, that's about all the time we have for right now. Again, thank you very much for checking in with us. Again, follow us next week. Meanwhile, check out witchcityghost.com. Mark Legere on Facebook. You have a great night. We'll see you.